Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We are still going since 1971. We're currently playing all the video games released at sometime in November 1982. And we were last playing Space Amoeba on the NEC PC 8801. Not to be confused with the movie, it wasn't based on the movie, sadly. Let's see what our next game is. Oh, that sound means it's time for another Star Trek variant. This is Space Guardian. Let's take a look at the box. Space Guardian. That's a pretty good box. But I thought it feels like we've seen these games before with titles. I mean, how many sci-fi titles can you have? At this point, we played so many space and star and Trek and things like that, I mean, we had to have seen this game's title at some point, but nope. This is the first time we've seen Space Guardian. This is by Omric Corporation, the very first time we've seen anything by Omric. And we flip it over, the back of the box has absolutely nothing, because we couldn't find the back of the box, only a front. What else do we have for Space Guardian? Just an example of the screenshot. Nothing else there. We do have the manual, though. Tell us how to play Space Guardian. Omric has a lot of stuff. This is a very lengthy manual. Licensing agreement, got it. A space adventure game is what they call it here, but it is not an adventure game whatsoever. This is the 128th game we've played for MS-DOS, or PC-DOS, PC Booter, IBM PCs, the 128th game that we've seen up to this point. The initial setup has lots of things, because making a game work on a PC in November 1982 took a lot. How to transfer software, whatever disk system you have. There's a lot that you would have to read through. Look at this, dual disk systems. Well, we don't need to know about that either. And the problems. I like the first thing, if there's a problem getting the game started, do not panic. That is the first thing you should do, is not panic, because I did that a lot. Me and my dad we did lots of panicking when games did not work. And it explains all the response to the problems. And if you have don't have any of these problems, play the game and tell your friends about it. So, hostile warships from a hostile alien empire have invaded the galaxy. Most of Earth's galactic fleet has been destroyed. Only the transport, Guardian, remains to defend the galaxy and save Earth. As commander, you have to find and destroy all the alien warships before it's too late. That is the premise of the game. And it is a Star Trek game. Not based on the TV show, I mean like the 1971 mainframe Star Trek game. It explains how to take command of the Guardian, what the flight screen is going to have, and breaking down all the different things that we're very familiar with Star Trek games. Short-range sensors, long-range sensors. We probably have shields, warp drive, our present status. Yes, what condition? Are we green, yellow, or red? Our energy, communications, all of it here in the manual. Oh, and the navigation. Yeah, you have to be able to warp around and move around the screen. This game, Space Guardian, really isn't saying anything Star Trek-y. Sometimes Star Trek games, even if they're based on the mainframe game, they will say Klingons and Enterprise. This has none of that. This took Star Trek out. There is nothing so far. Well, at least they have shields. I guess shields is up there. But we're not going against Klingons. There's no Romulans. There's no photon torpedoes. Oh, there's hyperspace, but I guess you can't do anything about that one. But yeah, I'm just breezing through the manual. Good luck. You be sure to pause at your leisure if you want to know more about the Space Guardian manual. All right, so let's pop it and play Space Guardian. This is by Omric for the first time. Loading Space Guardian. All right, yes, IBM PCs. This is the 64th Star Trek game that we've seen thus far, based on the 1971 mainframe game. And MS-DOS already has 6 games. This is the 6th game for MS-DOS. That's a Star Trek game. It's crazy. For consoles, there's only one game we've seen that's a Star Trek game. Stellar Track for the Atari 2600 up to this point. Right now on MS-DOS, you can play really good ones like Video Trek 88, Galactic Encounters, New Trek, Super Star Trek, things like that. Welcome to Space Guardian. You're about to embark on a space adventure that'll take you to the furthest reaches of the galaxy. The journey will require both brains and daring. Yes, because it's meant to be like a strategy game. Oh, couldn't saw phasers in the manual, so maybe they sprinkled in a little bit of Star Trek, but not a whole lot of Star Trek. Jeremiah gives every Star Trek a 5. Maybe in the 70s when we saw the variants, but now, I mean, this is the 64th Star Trek style game. Now we're being really picky. But I mean, there's so many. This is how many we've seen now, but we're still going to see some. The 80s has tons of them. All right. There's a person. Why a human is picked on the mission? Do you want to apply for the position of commander? Yes, I do. Enter your name. Nice. Put in our name. Orders are being processed. Please wait while we play Star Trek. Destroy 17 alien warships, see, no Klingons, that have invaded the galaxy before they can enter the Earth's headquarters in light year 2933. So they're very same tropes we've seen from Star Trek games. We have to manage our resources and destroy them all. We have 4 star bases. It's randomizing this like we've seen from the original game. And then if you look down the bottom, my commands are using the function keys, like F1 for navigation, F2 for phasers, F3 for torpedoes. And whenever we play this, this is actually taking turns. So nothing's going to happen right now if I just sit here. I think it's going to fly. Yeah, so it's not a real-time Star Trek game. This one is a true turn-based Star Trek game. So I can sit here as long as I want and plan out attacks. But if I want to do like, if you look at the short-range scan, it's telling us that's our ship, the T symbol, and then the asterisks are all the stars in this area. So let's get out of here. Let's travel to a new area. Course. I want to do a course of 3.0, I think. There. Warp factor 5. Use all that energy because we won't be here that long. What? Short range sensor damaged. How do we get a damage already? Do we need to turn shields up or something? We just navigate. Oh, do we go into a star? That's why you need to look ahead, do a long-range scan, because if we warped into a star, then that's probably why our sensors are out. Well, just in case, let's put up the shields. Hit F4, shields are up. Don't adjust your sound. This game is completely silent. Not even anything on the internal there's nothing on the internal speaker for the PC. All right, so there's our energy units that are available. I want to use 400 on shields. Shields at now. Oh man, our short-range sensors are already out though. That's terrible. So you can do hyperspace warp if you want to. I think I could still navigate, move to a different area. Let's go to 5.0 and see what happens there. Oh, there you go. Curtis said we probably hit the end of the galaxy. That'll also happen too. Man, all those problems when you reach the end of the galaxy, going where no man has gone before, then you blow your sensors out. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true too. So this one, we're not going to be playing too much of this this game. Most of the Star Trek games, the really good ones, we played a lot longer, but this one is not anything flashy, not anything simple. It's actually a slight regression when you consider all the other Star Trek games that are out there. But you still have a good time, because if you like strategy, if you like Star Trek, and you enjoy being able to go around the galaxy, blowing people up when there's using ASCII graphics, then you'd have a blast. Literally. All right, so there you go. That's all I'm really going to show of Space Guardian. It's not super flashy. It's not doing anything to push the Star Trek variants. So I'm going to say of all the games you could play on all home computers, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. This is another title that if you want to spend more time dissecting every Star Trek variant that's out there, you would kind of have a better range. But even my playtests, it's fairly middling. I wouldn't call it bad, though. I mean, you'd still have a good time considering the complexity. All right, after Space Guardian. Yeah, there we go. Jeremiah is saying 2.5 is fair. Awesome. All right, so let's see what our next release is. Oh my gosh, you can't escape them. The next game is another Star Trek game. This one is a combination pack, though. It's Star Trek and Reversi, just in case you get tired of the other one. Here's the box. This is for the Dragon 32. And this one is the 41st game we've played for the Dragon 32. Going to be the Dragon 64 by next year. Sweet. And by the way, Space Trek, this title has already happened on the TRS-80. There's 3 games already called Space Trek on the TRS-80. And then we've already played one game in the arcade. Sega has an arcade game called Space Trek. Yay, sci-fi games. Oh, man. All right, so this one's by Blabby Computer Games. The only other game we've seen by Blabby has been Raiders, which was an homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Pretty fun. Let's see the other artwork we have for Space Trek and Reversi. That's it. That's pretty much it. All right, let's play Reversi first and switch it up a little bit. So this is a combo pack. It's a compilation of the two different games. And here on Chronologically Gaming, we're well aware of video games being combined and with compilations later. So the only games we play that are compilation games are if they don't exist by themselves. They have to only be contained in a compilation. All right, let's load up this cassette and play some Reversi. We're fast forwarding so you don't have to wait for everything to go through. This is the 130th compilation video game we've played on Chronologically Gaming. Ooh, they give us some tunes. Sweet. And Trojan, I believe this is the only game we've seen by Trojan up to this point. Do you want to use the speed poke? Yes, we do. Do you want instructions? Sure. I don't know what kind of Reversi this is. Columns A to H. Initial configuration is all blank except the center 4 squares. Place your piece that flanks. Okay, so they're explaining what Reversi is, but we know what it is. This is the 26th Reversi or Othello variant we've seen on Chronologically Gaming. All right, got it. Level of play. Oh, we play against the computer only, so there's no 2-player. We'll do level 1. We want to be black or white. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Do you want to go first? Yes, we do. All right, make your move. Okay, so it is the kind of Reversi that you're having to put in the coordinates. Put your move, row, and then column. So if we wanted to go from 3, we 3E. And there we go. It is Reversi and Othello. There is an analog joystick plugged into this Dragon 32, but we're not able to use that. We have played Reversi and Othello that allows you to move around the screen and has a pretty good interface. So this one's like the old school interface. It's all right. It's okay for Reversi. Man, oh man, someone mentioned in the chat about the crummy games. Well, here they are. Well, some of the middling games. And then part of this compilation is Space Trek, only found with this compilation, these two games right here. This is our 65th game we played for that's a Star Trek variant. 65 Star Trek games. I'm going to, again, load the cassette, fast forward. We are not waiting over 2 minutes for everything to go through. Yeah, Space Trek. Do we want instructions? We probably do want for this one. Interesting. They only use 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. This is the 4th game we've played that's Star Trek variant for the Dragon 32. This little computer already has 4 games that are like this. All right, so you're the commander of the Federation flagship USS Dragon. Very quaint. Destroy all the Trojans in the galaxy in a given time. You have the control of the following. So we just have 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all. Very, very simplistic. All right, pushing to continue. The battle computer will automatically fire your phaser banks at the Trojans when you... Oh, there we go. So the bad guys are the Trojans because they're the developer. Very cute, very cool. From the 4 corners of the 4 sides, press A to continue. Okay, so that's interesting too. Your phasers are firing in 4 different directions. Yeah, and Barclay's saying about the Wales flag. Yeah, because this is a Wales micro. Oh, or a Welsh micro. Apologies. There are 2 modes of navigation. You have the warp drive. Go to different impulse drive. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's explaining what to do. Wait, joystick can be used? What? That's awesome. Seems a little difficult at first, but it'll take a few minutes to get used to it. Yeah, right. Analog joystick on the Dragon 32. It's been iffy. Same thing with the Coco. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. The range scanner allows you to see the contents of any of the quad within its range. Okay, so we can have our range and shield control. And then we have star bases. We have to be able to fix our damage at star bases and get our energy back. Planets will supply you with dilithium crystals. There you go. And we got black holes that will take you to other quadrants without the use of navigation. So that's a feature that we've seen with other Star Trek games, adding on the black holes. So cool. It's already doing some new features for Star Trek games. And yes, make sure you hold the button to use the joystick. And there's the symbol. So the USS Dragon, our ship, is represented by the H symbol. Makes no sense. Trojans are the asterisk, and then there's star bases, planets. Okay, I think we got it all. Oh, and give us some advice, too. Very, very cool. Do you want to use a joystick? I'm just going to say I'm not sure if I want to or not, but we'll say yes. Your mission, destroy 75 Trojans between this stardate and that stardate. Do you accept? And the reason why it's saying do you accept is because you can roll the dice and get different random starts. Hang on while I set up the galaxy. Oh, couldn't say there's going to be a Trojan arcade game in a few years. Well, if it's a video game, we will play it. Now it's going to be setting up the galaxy. We can pick our speed rating. Oh, we got expert speed. Yes, I want to play expert. Let's see if it plays real time. real-time strategy, Star Trek. Get the shields up quick. 4. Oh, wait, battle computer. We got to hit OK for that. Battle computer, and then it worked. The joystick responded when I pushed the button. Okay, it's confirmed. Let's go in. Navigation, we can do quadrant 1, 4. And then it automatically warps. It works. Okay, get our shields up. And, oh, that's pretty cool. Not only is it allowing you to control the ship with your analog joystick, but you're controlling the menu system. Right here above my head is the computer navigation, range, scan, and shields. You're able to control a little bit of that. It's very, very clunky, but the fact that it was working with the joystick is rare. Most of the time with Star Trek games, you're only controlling the ship, and then we just played a game where you could control the photon torpedoes, which was so fun. But this one is allowing you to control the menu system, like to pick the shields and range. So very, very bizarre. All right, so can we do it again? Go for another one? Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop there. So it's another one of those games that you would play for a long time, but it's part of a 2-pack. So you'd have fun playing Star Trek, and if you got bored of Star Trek, you can just go play some Reversi or Othello. So this is the rating for this compilation. These two games together, mashed up. If you had this for the Dragon 32, if this was only for the Dragon 32, you'd have a great time. But because we have to rate this against every other home computer that's out there, I'm going to give this around the average range because, I mean, Reversi and Othello is and the Star Trek game is, still around average for everything you could play up to this point. Oh, yes. So Brad's already saying 2.5 stars, I see from the chat, for everything you could play on all home computers. Yeah. And that's true. Manly brought up the screen. The Dragon 32 games for Star Trek games usually have a screen or interface that looks like that. So this is not as good as Dragon Trek. Dragon Trek is the best way to play Star Trek on the Dragon 32. You heard it here first on Chronologically Gaming. So there you go. 3. Yeah, it's a good deal for 3 for 2 games. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is.
Big plans? You bet.
We're now going to play on the Atari home computer. This is Speedway Blast. I'm going to show you how to have a blast with Speedway Blast. Here is the box. It looks like we're just playing a racing game. Doesn't it look like just a normal Formula 1 racing by the front of the box? It doesn't say, oh, I guess, no. The Formula 1 does have fire coming out of the front, so that's something to look forward to. This is the 408th game we've seen for the Atari home computer. Lots and lots of games for this computer, or systems of computers. And you flip it over the back end, it says, your neighbor has been invaded by asphalt-eating monsters. What? I wasn't expecting that. Total chaos is about to set in. You hop into your speedster, blast out after the destructive creatures. Beware of the danger that awaits you. Monster eggs waiting to be hatched. Dangerous holes in the street that can totally destroy your racer. Wait, what? So the front of the box really looks like just a racing game, but no, it is not. It's exciting. A fast-moving, challenging game. Let's see the other artwork for Speedway Blast. Wasn't expecting that one at all. Here's the idea you would have seen in magazines with lots of computers. 6 great games from IDSI. This is the 8th game we've seen by Innovative Design Software Incorporated, or IDSI. They've done games like Juggler, Survival of the Fittest, and Infiltrate for the Atari 2600. You can see these are the other computer games. Among some pool games, too. We've seen those, too. There's the 5 1/4 floppy disk for Speedway Blast on diskette. And an example of the screenshot. Yeah, Paul, I wish NASCAR was like that. Fire blowing out of the front of the cars. All right, so here's the manual for Speedway Blast. You have to have a joystick, and I'm so glad you have to have a joystick for this one. Speedway Blast is an exciting, fast-paced game where you try to drive your speedster around your neighborhood, destroying invading asphalt-eating monsters. You have a cartridge version or a diskette version. And it shows us what the options, select, and start buttons that are on your computer do. System reset. And here's where it gets interesting. The control of your speedster is completely from the joystick. If you hold your joystick in the direction your car is facing, it causes acceleration. And if you go back to the center, it causes your car to slowly decelerate and stop. So it is a racing game, and I'll go into the controls when we play because it's unique, very unique. You can turn every 90-degree direction your car is traveling. You can even slide. There's drifting, which we saw that with Le Mans on the TRS-80 color computer. Drifting's cool with car games, and it's brand new, at least on Chronologically Gaming. And then finally, you can shoot. We're going to press the joystick button and cause shots to be fired from the front of the car. That is what I'm talking about. And then it breaks down the scores. We have to know what the scores are here in November 1982. All right, we're ready to play. I don't think there's other... yeah, there's not a different version. Let's pop in and play Speedway Blast. This is by Howard de Saint-Germain. Published by IDSI in the beginning of November 1982. Whoa. Goes in with a blast. This is the third game we've seen by Howard de Saint-Germain. He did Pool 1.5 and Pool 400 for some examples. All right, so this one is letting us pick the option and the number of players. If you do a two-player game, it's like the arcade. You take turns, so you won't be playing at the same time. And then you have what level you want to do. And it is brutal when you go on the higher levels. I'm going to start on level option 1. Everyone ready? And go. Hitting start, and this is how the control works. If you look in the bottom of the screen, we have a radar very similar to Rally X. We also have fuel that is going down right now. Just sitting here with my car, the fuel goes down. The screen has dots there everywhere, and you're supposed to go around this maze picking up all the dots, kind of like Pac-Man, but they're giant dots. Like, look, that's the dot. You're supposed to pick up dots that look like that. The way the control works, though, is if I tap the joystick to the right, the car goes to the right. If I want to turn around the other way, it doesn't immediately turn to the right or turn the other direction if I use the joystick. But if I am driving the car and moving, then it controls like absolute control. See, I have this freedom to move around, but if I stay in this way and hold the joystick that way, it'll eventually accelerate the car, speed the car up, and if you want to stop, you just let go of the joystick and it eventually slows down, and then the car stops. So it is one of the rarest control schemes we've ever seen that is combining absolute control and direct control. It's difficult to describe because we've never seen anything that plays like this. While I'm moving, look, I'm freely moving the joystick around, and it's absolute control. But then, if I'm speeding up and going really fast, like holding the... It's not speeding up right now. I have to tap it again the other way to go faster. Go, go, go. And then if you let off the joystick, it stops the car, but you can't immediately turn back the other direction. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up some dots. You can see it's picking up the dots as we make our way around the maze. We have a very well done, freely scrolling, large maze of suburbia. And let's not forget, when I push the red button, we have firepower. We are a car that is shooting things up, and we are meant to destroy all of the asphalt-eating monsters, and that was one of them. The asphalt-eating monsters kind of look like a mix between the ghosts of Pac-Man and some of the Eastern Island heads. Anyway, but it's blowing up the asphalt, and if you touch the asphalt that it destroys, then your car is going to be destroyed. This is awesome. So you have both the goal of picking up all the dots that are around, but you also have the goal of destroying all of the monsters. Get them. Yeah, now I'm getting to the hang of the controls. Now you can look down at the radar and you got to see where you need to go, just like if you're going to play Rally X. But this one's done with shooting. You don't just drop a trail of smoke behind you like we did in Rally X. All right, I want to get this speed. Go. It was responding faster for me before. This is very unique, very fun, and just great when you incorporate let's drive and shoot at the same time. Go, go, go. I stopped, turn around, there we go. I just love the getting used to how the controls work, because you can do this. See that? You can do the drift move if you want to. So cool. But if you touch the asphalt, yikes, should have gone around the other way. Let's go this side. Those asphalt-eating monsters. There he is, got him. Okay, one more, you can see him on the radar. Follow to his location. And yeah, it's supposed to be speeding up, but it's not going very fast. Let's see if we can make our way. Oh, he's down here. Get him. You can even shoot to clear away the asphalt, which is a nice touch too. Wow. So cool. So this one is like a arcade maze game like Pac-Man, but it's also, let's switch to game level 1, keeps the high score there. It's also a racing game, you know, or not racing, but it's a driving game, but it's also a vehicular combat game. It's so many things in one, and it's the first time we've seen anything like this. We've seen car and motorcycle combat in video games like Death Race from 1976. We've also seen, can we go, oh, no, go down this side. Destroy it. We've also seen Burning Rubber and Bump and Jump in the arcades, but that didn't have a firepower shot. That one was just you running over cars or smashing into cars. We also saw Crazy Race on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It was a very obscure typing game, and that one still didn't have shooting. We also saw Radical Radial. That one did have you as a wheel rolling around firing at people. And then we played a game called Death Race 82. That was on the Apple II. This game is what I wanted Death Race 82 to be like, but sadly it was not. Death Race 82 was a letdown. This game is a breath of fresh air and so fun. It is awesome. Oh yeah, in the chats, Marshall says it feels like a Synapse Software title, and it does. This does feel like that. One of those games that you're thinking, how do they do that? Or why is this so good? Because it is. It is that good. All right, let's actually follow the radar now. Go blow up those other monsters. Get the heck out of here. So you do need to stay on the road. So if you touch like the walls, like if you would in Berserk, then you're gonna get destroyed. And there you go. When you finish the whole phase, then you go on to the next level. If you play with 2 people, then you're just gonna take turns, like if you're in the arcade. And the next level again, pick up the dots, blow up the monsters. Yeah, now we're getting some speed. That's it. And if you want to slow down or stop, notice that the screen wraps around. It just continues on forever. So this has a lot of things going for it. You just can keep driving. It feels like you're in a big world, but it is a slightly smaller map, but still the scrolling is epic. I mean, look at this. That's what I was talking about. Look at the... There we go. That's what I was wanting to do. Where did that speed come from? Now we're killing it. This is how Death Race 82 should have been. Awesome. And then you can do like little drift maneuvers. Oh yeah, see, once you get into the groove, the way the game feels control-wise is really unlike the other games we played for home computers. This feels more like something you play in the arcade. Yeah. Over in the chat, Barclay saying my kind of game. Yeah, it is my kind of game. It's so cool. Yeah, I like how it has the mini-map, like Rally X down the bottom. This one, the setting and the suburban setting, you know, going around homes like this is so much fun, too. It's awesome. This is a variant of Rally X, and it's the 12th game we've played so far that plays very similar to Rally X, including Rally X that was in the arcade. We played games like Radar Rat Race, Route 16, Cross Country Rally, Rally that was on the TRS-80, and then another really good one that is very close to this that reminds me of this is Getaway, but Getaway didn't have this feature where you're able to shoot things. Go, go, go. So cool. Yeah, race driving with scrolling, and playing a video game where you're driving a game that you're able to scroll and have combat is extremely rare, because most of the time when we play a racing video game and it has scrolling, it might be scrolling like Monaco GP in one direction, but this one's freely scrolling all around the screen. So the games that we have played that don't have combat and do not play like Monaco GP would be games like Formula 1 Racer by Sid Meier for Atari home computers, or Auto Race on the Arcadia 2001, or Auto Chase on the Creativision, or Auto Racing on the Intellivision. So that's what makes this one so special. There's other games that play like this, but they don't have the combat feature to them. So yeah, I love it. I like the smoke that chugs out too. It's really cool. So looking over the chat, I see some ratings for 3.5, 4 stars. Yeah, the control scheme. Actually, it's not too hard to get used to. It's unique because it's doing absolute control, but if you have a car, you wouldn't turn around completely the other direction. So it's adding a little bit of realism, different than Le Mans we played on Coco. the control scheme, you would turn around on a dime the other direction. So it really didn't make sense. This one makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of 3.5s. Ooh, a 4.5. Nice for all the games you could play. Yeah, I really like the idea of the game, how it's mashing things together, and it is a real treat. Lots of fun. Yeah, right? Solid 4. Yeah. Well, Curtis was saying about the colors. Well, that's what you kind of get for the Atari home computer. The colors aren't vibrant and pop. We're not playing something on the Bally Astrocade or anything like that. So I would say yes, 4 stars. It is an excellent, excellent game. I don't really see enough. There's 2 4.5s, but yeah, solid 4 for Speedway Blast. Yeah, it's excellent. I don't know if I want to say one of the best games you could play because it's doing so much though. Now we'll say 4. Speedway Blast is fun. It was in my range of 4 or 4.5 for all the games you could play across all home computers right now. All right, after that, let's see what the next game is. And at long last, it's time to play Spiders of Mars on the Commodore VIC-20. Let's check it out. Not necessarily released exactly in November, maybe sometime. It was actually earlier that this possibly could have been released. This one's only available for the Commodore VIC-20, and it's the 321st game we've played on the VIC-20. Oh, look at that. War of the Worlds, front of the box. Spiders of Mars. Those kinds of spiders looks freaky. However, we will not see them in the game. It's just flashy box fun. Flip it over the back, and they have an example of the screenshot. The skies of the red planet are a hostile place for Martian spacefly, spiders of Mars, and their allies, bats of Saturn, dragonflies of Pluto, and the dreaded sand hornets. So it's insects from all over the galaxy. Marshall calls it Bowie's go-to game. Oh, yes. So it gets released later in the United Kingdom by Audiogenic, and this is the box for Spiders of Mars that they did. And this one looks more like what the game is, as actual insects that are here. This would be the 15th game that we've seen by Audiogenic when they did this in the UK. But this is by UMI, United Microware Industries, and this is the 20th game we've seen by this company. They've done games like Alien Blitz, Skibbereen, Satellites and Meteorites, and Video Vermin. There's the cartridge. We're going to pop in and play some Spiders of Mars. All right. Yes, I want to play the cartridge version. We're not going to play the tape version. That was the one in the United Kingdom. They may have had one in the United States, but we're popping in the cart to play Spiders of Mars. This is by Tensor Technology, released at sometime in November 1982. Ooh, cool. I believe, are we going to hear any more? Or is it just that for Toccata and Fuge? More public domain classical music. Sweet. All right, this is the 6th game we've seen by Tensor Technology. They did games like Outworld and Cloudburst. Okay, so I just want to get right into it. Can we push? Yes, we can. You just push the button on your joystick and then you're in. Oh, man, it makes me feel like I'm playing like Yar. It's another game where you get to play as a fly. And you have to destroy all the insects. Oh, the hornets shoot at you. So check it out. You have full freedom of movement. The control feels really smooth, really fast, especially for the Commodore VIC-20. We have little eggs that are homing in on us, but I can move all around left and right, just like I'm playing something like Defender without the radar. But you clear all the enemies, move on to the next round. Oh, classic. I'm just amazed at how well this responds. And it sounds so good. Very, very well done. I love it, yep. Yeah, James, we should call it D-Flyer. In a way, it kind of makes me want to go back and play Yar's Revenge some more. This one does have the objective, though, let all the enemies come to you, but I don't know where they are. Where's my Defender minimap? I don't have a little minimap showing me where everybody is. Kill them. All of them. Okay, I get no penalty for moving to the bottom row. And it is freely scrolling, right? This game is running so smoothly and plays so well. My little fly that's flying around, they have to be pushing the Commodore VIC-20 to its fullest, its utmost. That's awesome. So this is a shoot 'em up. We call shoot 'em ups the scrolling kind of shoot 'em ups. Oh, the colors change and you move to another level. That's so fun. Oh, look at this. And at this point, we played 164 shoot 'em ups, scrolling shoot 'em ups. On home computers, this is the 101st scrolling shoot 'em up. It's a shmup. You only get 2 lives, so you really got to be on your game. But it's not too crazy. Notice we don't have a lot of things to dodge, or at least they're starting the difficulty off a little easier than for the other games we've seen, like Sidewinder that's out there. So cool. Oh, yeah, so I'm just blown away at how well this responds and plays. The Hornet shot's pretty fast, but it also is trying to make the color pop as much as it can on the VIC-20. We've seen a few games do that. It's difficult, but they did it yet again. And you do have a lot of freedom. I'm staying in one area so I don't get shot, but you can see I can scroll very fast and very freely around. Oh, and we have the barriers. Yikes. I need to watch out for those on the ground. Holy moly. So yeah, this is a very loose variant of Defender. This is the 41st game we played that plays very similar to Defender. Oh, you got me. In the arcades, there's been 4 games that have copied Defender. On home consoles, there's been 6 games that have copied Defender. And on home computers, this is the 31st game that has copied Defender. Oh, I got the slowdown. Did y'all see that? And this is the 8th game on the Commodore VIC-20 that has copied Defender. There's already 8 games that we've seen that are Defender-like on the Commodore VIC-20 alone. The best of the best on the Commodore VIC-20 would be games like Lunar Leaper, Astro Blitz, oh, got me, Sidewinder that we just saw, and then the one that Jeff mentioned he did Aggressor, Andy's Attack, and Defenda, and then Meteor Run is another one that we've seen on the Commodore VIC-20 alone. Yeah, and over in the chat I see some 3.5s. Oh yeah, if it was the VIC-20 by itself, it's excellent. I would say 4 stars as well if it was just for the Commodore VIC-20. Since it's going against everything for all the home computers that are out there, there are other better ways to play Defender and then video games in general that you could play besides this one. So Spiders of Mars is still very well done. I would say of all the games you could play on all home computers, yeah, about 3.5 stars. So like the last game we played, you saw more of the closer top tier games with Speedway. But this, I was saying 4 to 4.5. But this one, I'll say 3.5 stars for everything you could play on all home computers right now. Barclay and Marshall are just thinking average for all the games you could play. Yeah, so it's quality for the Commodore VIC-20, but there are other higher end computers that are out there. So 3.5 stars for Spiders of Mars. Awesome. All right, that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause as we continue this crazy quest to play and see every single video game. Some of them may be hits, some of them may be losses, but you know, we're going to be seeing and playing everything. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, we will squeeze out all we can from the TRS-80 color computer. There's a Stampede on your Intellivision. And Microprose is back with one of the best games you could play on any home computer. Again, that's it for today, and like I always say, have yourself a good shoot. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.